So the first step is to download the IX developer software. You download it from Beijer Electronics website. You can just Google download IX developer or straight to Beijer website. There you will find the IX HMI software. I have downloaded it already, so I'll simply install the software. This is essentially a 30 days license, but what you could do is you could consume all 30 days and then reinstall the software again. There is no persistence required for the software licensing. Very straightforward utility. Maybe the current version is beyond 2.4.0 or 2.40 as before, but what I have installed it, or I'm installing, is a previous version of it, or a stable version of it. It's a large software, but running it is essentially not very complicated, and to be on the practical side, I never faced any challenges using it over a small or low-end specs laptops or machines. So I'll pause it for a while so that it can get installed, and then we continue. The next step, let's open up the programs and see how they are working together. So first of all, we will open the master side of the house. Let's say we already have a program defined in IX developer, and I will show it around from operational standpoint. It's a long process to build the program, but I'll show you how it can be operated. So when you open up, every time it will ask you for the license, you can say I want to continue the trial version. This is totally okay for the program. There will be no difference in user experience if it's licensed or not, but the only thing is it will always ask you if you want to register it first. When you open a predefined program, you will be looking at the program like this. This is something which I had defined, so it's very customizable. I just selected tank A, tank B, and defined some sliders. What you typically do is, this is a master side of the pumping station, or master side of the Modbus controller. In the tags side, you will be able to define what is the tag associated to the bar, what is the tag associated to the valve, actuator, and other things. If you go to the controller side, you go to settings. Here you can define, this master can control how many slaves or what are the IP addresses of those slaves. Means if this is my program, this is the master program, this slider, if I shift this slider, an action will be performed on a certain slave, and that certain slave is something which I define here in the settings, that if I do some changes, these are my slaves which will be in fact impacted. So this is the IP address of the slave side, and that's all I have for now. I'll now show, or I'll now open the slave side as well. So half of the job is done. We have our program, it's configured, and if you click on play or run button, this program will go full screen, which tells me that this is now in play mode. This is exactly what you have in your HMIs. When you load this program into a Modbus HMI, this essentially is the full view of the HMI. You will see some that's situations where there is no connection. I'll show you when the connection is established. Now I would want to go to the slave side. On slave side, I have basically a PC. I will RDP into that PC from here. So this is my slave running on 192.168.192.158. There I have a similar program which could be, let's call it PLC slave, and if I run it, it will open up as a similar program. So PLC slave, I think this is the one. It will open up just like how we were opening the previous program on the other station. Yes, continue in the demo mode, and off we go. Okay, so there is a lot of struggle which is required in order to fix those programs. So in order to save time, I already have made the programs, and sorry, I will just slide it back. we are on the RDP of the PC, which is on the slave side. So remember, slave is the one where those changes will be reflected upon. If I go to the tags and the controller side, you will realize that I just need to assign the station ID number, station number of the slave. Means if my master will try to connect to slave number 1, the changes will be reflected here. Now let's go to the play button, because I want to go to show you the exact outcome. Configuration we can discuss later. I just want to show you what will be the outcome. So imagine if I load the program, this will be the view on the HMI screen of the slave side. If I slide it slightly sidewards and then I go back to my original master, it's hard to demo with two screens, but I'll try. So if this is my master unit, okay, and this is my slave, if I make any changes on master, if I play with the slider, the volume of the tank will be changing on the HMI on the background. So it's a slightly difficult thing to show you on the screen, but this is how it is happening. So what's going on here is master is initiating a command which is changing the level of the pumping stations, or we're changing the level of the tank essentially by engaging the pumps in each direction. So I've defined the tag values. If this goes to 50, this goes to, the scale is also shifting to 50. If it goes to 70, so obviously if this tank is getting filled, this will be getting unfilled. Now the real goal of this exercise was to realize how this can be generating a lot of Modbus traffic. So for that matter, I opened the Wireshark and I'm sniffing my LAN card, which is essentially sniffing to the traffic which is on the LAN card where the communication is passing through. So you will see a lot of Modbus queries. If you can filter it with the filter Modbus, you will see that the request and response is generating. If you also try to change the values, you will see that there will be change in the register values which is being reflected. And you will also see the source IP and the destination IP address. My source is essentially 192.168.192.1 and destination is the PC. In RDP you can see where the slave is installed. So this is the full-fledged demo where two computers or two program two places where you're running the HMI program. You could say there is PC number 1 and then there is a PC number 2. In between there is a connectivity through TCP IP, and if I am running Modbus master here, Modbus master initiates a command and Modbus slave, those changes will be reflected on Modbus slave, and in between the traffic is Modbus. And if you want to sniff this traffic, you could either use a Wireshark here on this LAN card, or you can use this LAN card. If not, if you want to do the sniffing through IDS, you can have a tap in the middle and you can put the IDS in here to do the sniffing. Otherwise, Wireshark is quite more than enough to either sniff from here or sniff here. You will see the Modbus register values changes throughout the session.